Guys, audible? Yes? Okay. So, very important session today with none other than Mr. Shaji. So, he is from Canada and basically he's from Pakistan and he went to Canada on the basis of ACCA, right? So, he has, thank you. So, he has joined MBA with University of Canada West. So if you guys are planning to move on to Canada, I am sure this is a very important session for you. So stick around. I've been getting a lot of messages on Instagram and on YouTube. I myself applied to Canadian universities, so I used Shaji's resources. So I know him since then. So let's just add him to the live. So we have Mr. Shaji here. Uh,
Hello.
hi, hi,
Hi,
Shaji.
hello. I'm good. I just woke up. It's morning here in Vancouver.
Okay, it's night time here actually, so
Yes.
we are just about to sleep.
Uh,
Okay,
right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting.
yeah. So, can you just give your brief background to my subscribers as well as the followers? Uh, what exactly you are doing in
Mhm.
Canada?
Okay, so I just talked about that. I came to Canada last 2 years, and I came actually in March 2021. So it exactly means like 2 years and 2 months right now.
Mhm.
So I came here as an international student. I did my master's here, MBA from University Canada West.
Right.
It's actually a university which supports people from ACCA background.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I did my ACCA in Pakistan, and I'll just go a brief right before 2016, before coming to 2021 and 2020. After completing my high schools, A levels in Pakistan, uh, I decided कि भाई बाहर जाना है ना स्टडी अब्रॉड का प्लान है
Yeah.
तो I decided भाई कनाडा जाना है ना तो I applied in universities in Canada or somehow I got an offer letter from University of Manitoba and Winnipeg, right?
Mm-hmm.
And initially in my high school I got my good grades in mathematics. I got A in mathematics. I thought भाई actuarial sciences करेगा बच्चा and I applied in actuarial sciences. I got admission and then I planned कि भाई ठीक है actuarial sciences में हो गया है अब हम वीजा अप्लाई करते हैं and the thing happened कि भाई वही हमारा ना it's quite different in Pakistan ना maybe I don't know about India to be honest but it's like about consultants होते हैं agents होते हैं everything, right? I went there. Actually, they knew about how to file UK and Australia visas, but they actually don't know about how to file visa for Canada.
Yeah.
It's quite different here.
Hmm.
तो फिर मैंने उनके हवाले सब कुछ कर दिया. स्कूल का नया नया बच्चा ग्रेजुएट हुआ था तो उन्होंने माशाल्लाह ऐसा फाइल लगाया कि भाई वो वीजा कोर्ट रिजेक्टेड ट्वाइस, राइट? तो फिर मैंने कहा यार ये तो बाहर तो जाना ही है, अभी 2 दफा रिजेक्ट हो गया था कनाडा का. सो आई थॉट बाहर तो जाना है. देन फिर मैंने somehow I waited 3 to 4 months. Then I thought कि भाई यहाँ पे कनाडा का तो वीजा नहीं लग रहा, 2 दफा रिजेक्ट हो गया. देन अप्लाइड फॉर ऑस्ट्रेलिया.
Hmm.
सेम डॉक्यूमेंट्स, एवरीथिंग सेम. और 5 दिन के अंदर I got ऑस्ट्रेलिया वीजा इन Jan 2016. आई एग्जैक्टली रिमेम्बर. फिर मैं ट्रैवल कर गया टिकट विकेट लेके. आई वेंट टू ऑस्ट्रेलिया एंड यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ न्यू कासल इन सिडनी. इट्स अ 4 hour ड्राइव फ्रॉम सिडनी हार्बर. और मैंने सिडनी हार्बर भी देखा था, मतलब इट्स क्लोज टू एयरपोर्ट एज वेल.
Yeah.
उधर से फिर जाके
Okay. I have a request before you continue. We are getting requests for English because in India we have a lot of diversity, so not everyone
okay.
knows Hindi here. I know.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'll start in English, no worries for that. Okay, so like I went to Australia in 2016 in Jan after getting refused twice in for Canada for actuarial sciences. I continued my journey for actuarial sciences in Jan 2016. I got my Australia visa in 5 days on the same file and papers for what I was submitting in Canada.
Okay.
Then I traveled to Australia. I got there, and within 5 days, I got a call from my family that my mother is hospitalized and she's getting an open heart surgery.
Oh my God.
So somehow, it was a decision I had to make. Like my elder brothers usually called me, कि भाई the family is in like critical condition and I have to travel back. So I traveled back. Like I just left my semester. And the unfortunate thing was that somehow due to IT technical issues, like my courses did not got registered for the first semester. The whole university's registers were courses were registered, but my courses were not registered for that semester. And somehow I got my complete fees back from Australia. So that was like something it was really unfortunate. But then I came back to Pakistan after like obviously my mother got better, and then I started my ACC journey there in Pakistan because it it had that element of an Oxford Brookes University degree, a bachelor's degree, which was not there in any qualification
Right.
out there. Like if you do chartered accountancy Pakistan, chartered accountancy India, anything like they don't have an element of a undergrad degree. So it was like really better to opt for an ACCA because actually my cousin is in UK and he has done his bachelor's there and then he did his ACCA and he has almost like more than 10 years of experience in big four firms and then he joined like big companies like GlaxoSmithKline and the pharmaceutical, right? So based on his advice, I started my ACCA journey. I did my 13 papers. The first 5 papers I did in a span of 6 months, and then I joined investment banking back home in Pakistan. And the journey started from there. Then, like after working for 15 months at the local bank, investment banking, uh, I joined Deloitte in a big four firm back home in Pakistan, and it was throughout my ACC journey. So ACC also provide you two things. First is that it provides you a comfort of a degree.
Yeah.
For instance, like after completing your 9 papers, you have that option for degree, and this is a really good option. It's unfortunate that it's expiring in 2026, May 2026, no more. Their mutual agreement with Oxford Brookes University, but let's see how it happens. And then it also provides you an element that it is a global qualification, which gives you an edge over local graduates. And other best thing is that it also has like international finance reporting standards, IFRS. What I've seen here, I have been in Canada here. I'm working in like a top six accounting firm.
You're working.
People who are watching who can follow me on LinkedIn as well
You're,
to see my present.
you're
Sorry.
working. You're working in video, right?
Yeah, I'm working in video. Yeah.
So
So that's a short summary of me. I hope it wasn't boring.
yeah. So I saw your videos. Like I also tried to Canada, and in fact, I got an offer letter from UBC, diploma
Mm-hmm.
in accounting program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a different story that I didn't go there. I
Mm-hmm.
am planning maybe next year or so. But the
Mm-hmm.
point is that if we want to immigrate to Canada after ACCA,
Mm-hmm.
so you were telling something about getting jobs there in your videos on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can you talk about them as well, like after MBA from Canada, that is from University
Mm-hmm.
Canada West, which is a very good university. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you feel is the job prospects after that?
Before going to the job, I'll come from like a plan to a master's in Canada, right? I'll go this way step by step. Job first of all, like to cut in short, job market is really good if a person is interested or he's willing to apply for jobs here. First
Hmm.
of all, okay. I'll go back. I'll start my process that after completing ACCA or getting an AC, there are like three status in ACC, right? One status is that either you are ACC part qualified, like for example, you have done 9 out of 13 papers or 14 papers, and you got your OPU degree as well,
Yeah.
right? And the second thing is that you are an ACC affiliate, and the third is ACC member. So either you're an ACC part qualified but with an OPU degree, ACC affiliate, or ACC member. In all of the three circumstances, you can apply for a master's in Canada. And there is only one university that is unfortunate. Not many universities are recognizing ACCA qualification.
True.
So the University Canada was the only
Yeah.
one. So I have completed like all my ACC papers. My status was ACC affiliate.
Okay.
Like my all papers were completed.
Yeah.
So the attraction was that based on that, I got like there are like 15 papers. What I did here, like in University Canada West, was my MBA program. So there are like 15 courses, and they have ACCA and this University Canada West has a mutual agreement. So if you are coming like an ACCA on ACCA affiliate status and membership status, if you are coming to Canada, in this university, you are getting 3 to 4 papers exemption. What does this mean is that out of 12 papers, you only need to study 11 or 12 papers, and you also get a scholarship. So I got around like $10,000 of scholarship based on that. Then I got more scholarship that was based on English proficiency, and it was based on IELTS, obviously. So I got $4,000 of scholarship or more. So it was cumulatively a $14,000 of scholarship. Then during the studies, it's actually a 2-year MBA program, which I did in 1 year because obviously the courses got less, so I had more time. And they had like 4 intakes in a year, right? So it's also a plus point in that. Then also, like during my studies, I maintained a CGPA of 3.7 and above. Based on that, I also got a $3,000 scholarship. That was my due amount that I need to pay in the last semester. So I got that waived as well. So if I like cumulate that, so it was like more of a 17,000 of scholarship. So it's only for ACCA people, like the people who are watching right now, who are people who are like are aspirants of ACCA, right?
And what is
Now,
the
I
total
come.
cost of this MBA?
The total cost when I was doing this was 34,000 Canadian dollars. And I just need, like, after cutting down 16,000, I was left with those. So, like, in the second year, I actually don't need to pay anything. It was actually in the first year. So, ACC, like, Canada also has that category of a student direct stream where India is there, where Pakistan is there, where there are like 3 specific requirements. Like, firstly is to English proficiency, IELTS, in which you have to score 6.5 overall. That is also waiving out in August 10th. That's 6.0 overall with no restrictions on module score. Then the second thing is that you obviously have to pay first year tuition fees that I paid around 17 to 18,000 Canadian dollars at that point of time. Like last two years, 2021, October 2021, October 2020. And the third thing is GIC, a guaranteed investment certificate of 10,000 Canadian dollars. So we don't need to show a bank statement. We just only need to send our funds. Like we send our first year tuition fees to Canadian University. We need to send 10,000 Canadian dollars to a Canadian bank. So they're like top 5 or 6 banks, 4 to 5 banks in Canada here. Only these banks accept GIC. So we have the CIBC Bank, like Scotia Bank, and like these. Now I come to your point. What's the job market, or like how ACC can get into the job market? I firstly suggest you all, everyone who is watching here, that you need to come here on a master's degree. Like being an ACC aspirant, either you're an ACC member or ACC affiliate, or you are part qualified with an Oxford Brookes University degree. In the ACC journey, you have to come to this university first, or even you can come to UBC TAP program, like you got the offer letter, right? So there are universities. I'm here in Vancouver. So there are like multiple universities. There is another university, British Columbia Institute of Technology. There is another university called Simon Fraser University. Like these are some of the top universities in Vancouver, British Columbia. Other than that, if you go towards like Ontario side or a Toronto side, then they have like Centennial College, Seneca. Like these are some of the big colleges or like good universities who accept ACC or a bachelor's degree. So one thing is during your ACC journey, obviously target your bachelor's degree first thing first, and then you move here. You did your master's. So like I'm just telling a point that there are no Canadians people who are doing the master's degree. Like you are getting the master's class in Canada and you won't see like any foreign people, any Canadian who is doing masters, because it's actually us, like Middle East people, Pakistani, Indians, Sri Lankans, Nepalis, all these. We use these masters because
We
we
believe
study
in
more.
higher education and
Exactly. We target higher education more as comparative to these people, because what their life is, they do their high school till 12th class,
there's
they
what
do 2 years diploma and anything they want, and they're into the job market right
exactly
away. We are different
true.
than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I also heard this thing like people go by ranking. Like, let's talk about our community, ACCA community, right? So, if we want to go to master's degree, we opt for the best university. First of all, that would be very costly. That's what I felt when I was shortlisting my universities. Like, you can go to universities which are very costly, like University of British Columbia's MBA, top ranked, but too costly and too competitive to get into that. Plus, I feel all of us who are doing professional qualifications, we have distance BCom. And mostly, like even the BSc that we get is a distance education, right? At the end of the day. So it's a difficult task to get a master's entry into such big universities. That's what I faced as a challenge, because I've not done BSc, but I have a BCom from Delhi University. That's a distance education. I texted you,
Mhm.
in fact, when I was doing this, that will
In
this.
fact, I just had one student right now who has an ACCA status, ACCA affiliate, and he got like that BCom degree as well. And he recently applied for this university, and somehow he got $6,000 of scholarship just for his IELTS score and his like background. So I think that's also a point that if you have, I think I'm not getting you wrong. I heard you right that you were talking about that if you have a bachelor's degree and a percentage is not good. That's right.
No, no, no. We have open learning, School of Open Learning. That's a
Okay,
distance education.
distance learning education,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, that's not an issue here, right? So when I applied for jobs here, many organizations thought that I have been to UK as well for my ACCA or for my or like Oxford University degree. For distance learning, it really does not matter that where you are studying from. Like now in a remote culture, they don't mind like where you have studied from. Either you have studied from anywhere because again coming to the point that ACCA is a global degree, right? It's a global education, right? So you can study it from anywhere. Even Toronto have that ACCA papers. If people want to know about that, if they can continue the ACCA journey, the papers are here conducted in ACCA for ACCA in Toronto as well. So like ACCA is global right now, and obviously it has been from the past from the nations. So if you're talking about the distance learning point of view, so yes, it does not really matter either universities, colleges for admission, and employers for their like past experience or past qualification.
I think it doesn't matter in the university like University of Canada West, because they value ACCA, right? But if we talk about
Mhm,
other universities, it does create an issue in few of them, that if you have a
mhm,
distance education. So that's also
mhm.
one of the major reasons why people go for UCW, especially the
Okay.
working professionals like
Mhm,
CAs and CPAs,
mhm, mhm,
because they have distance education, and it's like UCW is going to value your ACCA, and no other
mhm.
university in Canada is doing that currently.
Look, I would in that point of view, I would say that what you can do is provide a cover letter to any university you're applying outside UCW, right? Uh, First of all, I would say UCW is better in that case that it provides you like scholarships and exemptions that lowers down your duration of masters in Canada. First thing. So like I did my masters, it was a 2 years MBA program, but due to scholarships and exemptions, I did that in 1 year. And based on that, I got 3 years postgraduate work permit because it was a degree of 2 years, right? So it depends what is the duration of a degree. So duration of a degree was 2 years, but I did in master 1 year. But since in on like on my letters, it was written it's a 2 year program. I got 3 years postgraduate work permit.
Right,
So many
right.
of the people have this question as well.
Hmm.
Other than that, if you're talking about like other universities and colleges, you need to provide them evidence that like it was a distance learning, it's a global qualification, provide them with a good letter of good standing that ACC provides and everything like that. So,
Hmm.
so these are like some of the stuff, and I agree with your point that yes, with other universities, you need to prove them that it's a distance learning and like
Right.
how we studied and everything. You need to provide a cover letter, but in case of UCW, it's different.
Yeah.
They exactly know what they're like, how who's the
Yeah.
candidate. But other universities don't recognize that who is the candidate, how is like what's ACCA, like
Exactly.
what's their background.
That's the issue I faced when I applied to UBC. They didn't know ACCA and they didn't consider ACCA. They
Yes,
just considered the BCom degree that I had.
yes,
Yeah. So,
yes, yes.
what do you feel that, okay, once we get into a master's degree,
Mhm,
and we also have ACCA with us,
mhm,
so why we should go for master's and not a PG diploma? Like, how can you compare these two
mhm,
things, keeping in mind we have ACCA already with us?
mhm. First thing is that look, diploma from a word diploma here in Canada is different, right? First of all, back home and even in India and Pakistan, if you are a diploma, it's like okay, it's diploma.
Yeah.
When you're talking about a master's degree, it creates an impact. Oh, okay, you have done masters.
Hmm.
So first thing is that people have that like mind psyche that masters is bigger or better than diploma.
Yeah.
First point, and that how it works here as well. Like I mentioned, I repeat my point. Like there are less candidates for master's degree than comparison to any other bachelor's or diploma or even postgraduate diploma. So the people in the masters, first the criteria of getting into a master's is difficult. right? And if you get into a master's, you get edge. Even you, let's suppose, even when you're applying for jobs on LinkedIn, either in India, Pakistan, or everywhere, or even in Canada or UK or Australia, I have been to Australia as well. So you see that there is a breakdown. If you have that, like, even you have that membership for for LinkedIn, you what you see is that there is a breakdown when you're applying for a job. Like 30% are masters, 20% are bachelors, or the masters gonna be a less percentage that people who are applying for jobs. So this means that people who are applying for jobs is less masters, and undergrads or diplomas are more there. So that is the reason that masters people are less in numbers here in Canada as compared to other postgraduate diplomas and everything. So that is the point. Other than that, it is also recognizable here that masters is a degree. Masters is always a degree, but like diplomas are always a certificate diploma, like it's a postgraduate diploma and stuff like that. From the perspective of like Canada immigration or like PR points, it's like it's not a much difference. I think the points are same. But other thing, there's a big difference here. Masters are usually offered by public universities and private universities both. But diplomas are like what I've seen here, like some of the big universities offer diploma in specific programs. If you would target like diploma programs in like marketings and everything, you would find it any private institute. Like you won't be able to see like what are the big universities or the small universities or the private colleges are there. So I would say if you want to do a postgraduate diploma here, go with the public universities who are offering. But if you want to do a masters, you can target both private universities and public universities. So getting in public universities and masters is really tough in comparison to postgraduate diploma. So if you have a like if you're willing to have a plan with the postgraduate diploma, let's suppose you are not getting admission in masters, then go for a postgraduate diploma. Otherwise, I won't suggest that, because when you're doing it, it's obviously you're investing a big money in Canada, right? So I would suggest like why don't you go for like the topmost thing?
Yeah, in the same cost, if you can get an MBA, then why you go
Yes.
for a diploma?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so I think another question that I would like to ask you about is that, okay, how we can immigrate, if is it just through the study route or it's through
Mhm.
PR also directly, like not just ACC affiliates or students. What if we are members and
Mhm.
we have proper work experience? So what is the probability or what is the situation in the market? Are we able to immigrate on the basis of direct PR, express entry?
Uh, Look, what I've been here, like I have been here. I'm like creating social media content for the last 2 years. What I've personally seen is people who are willing to immigrate to Canada, they need to ensure three things when they are immigrating to Canada on direct immigration, that is express entry, right? If you have these three things, you have like higher chances of getting into Canada on express entry. First thing, your age needs to be below 30. Uh, you should have done your masters.
Okay.
Like for an ACCA member, let's just an example, ACCA member is equivalent to a bachelor's here in West. You have to do a degree equivalency, right? And the third thing is IELTS. So you actually need three things. First is you need English proficiency for immigrating to Canada. You need to score really good in that, and there is a like a golden score like 8,777, 8 in listening and other three modules in 7. Right. The other thing is that you need to have an age below 30. And the third thing is that you have to do a master's. Like your master's is equivalent to a Canadian master's as well. So if you have these three elements in your profile, and then last thing, 3 years of professional work experience in your relevant field, and that is required in Canada. So if you have these 3 to 4 things, then your highly likely chances of getting a Canadian immigration. And what you can do here is that put your points in a CRS calculator and calculate that if you're running around 470, 480, 460 mark, then you have a like a bit of a brighter chances. But the moment you see that I'm calculating my score, my age, my education, my English proficiency, my work experience, and the score is coming below 450, then that's a red flag that. And if you don't have anything to increase your points, then there is a red flag that you can't directly immigrate to Canada. But a person who was above 450 or 460, so there is a point that if it's above 450 or 460, there is likely chances that you can immigrate to Canada for studies. You get 30 points. You improve your IELTS exam, that might give you some 5 to 10 points. So you have a chances. And the CRS scores right now, the draws are around 480s. So like this is how it should work.
Right, right. So we need 3 years of experience, masters, and age less than 30. Then we have chances. And above
Then
that,
yes.
again, that takes a lot of time. You don't know whether you will get through that or not. And mostly, I
Mhm.
have heard lots of people are not able to go uh, because they are
Again,
just stuck in that line.
again, I repeat that. Uh, what I prefer, like people ask me who are even below 30 or above 30, they usually ask me what's the best route of coming to Canada, right? And I tell them one thing, that the best thing of coming to Canada is study route. If your points are not getting in express entry, right? Majority of the people who have done their undergraduation, they are willing to immigrate to Canada on their masters. That's the right strategy. But I would highly suggest people who are doing their undergrad or like right after undergrad get to 1 or 2 years of practical experience,
Hmm.
because that is also gonna increase your CRS score when you're in Canada. So it's
Right.
all about either you're applying right from Canada, you're in express entry, you need to go through the same process, English proficiency, master's degree, age below 30 and everything. Even you are coming to Canada on masters, you did your masters, it is the same process of getting a Canadian immigration. You have to be below 30, you have a master's. So this masters give you an edge, right, for a Canadian immigration. For example, you're standing at 450 before immigrating to Canada, before doing anything. And then you go to Canada for a master's, you get additional 30 points for studying in Canada. So your 450 increases to 480, and then some more points. So the last recent draw was 486. So you got close by, right? So I would suggest even get your 1 year of experience in India back home as well. That should also be your target. Like before getting into any masters, even universities here, they say that if you are coming from masters, have some practical experience of 1 year or 2 years. Join any big four audit firm. That would like give you an edge. Otherwise, join IT software houses, and any practical experience you can get. It does not matter that it should be in your domain, but try to get in your domain first. If not, then like you can do anything. I just saw a comment that people are saying the provincial nominee program is also good. If you are coming here in British Columbia and Ontario, the PNP program is tough, but the PMP program is good for IT people, for tech people, right? If you're saying that no, I don't want to get into a tech, I'm a simple business graduate and an engineering side. Even engineering has a good. What Ontario has is Ontario has a master's program, master provincial nominee program. That if you're a master's graduate, again you had to be a master's, not a postgraduate diploma. Like the question you asked, then that you had an immigration option, direct PMP option, provincial nominee program in Ontario.
Yeah.
If you're from engineering and tech background, you have a BC PNP tech program.
Yeah.
So this is the these are the 2 points. Then again, if you move out of these two provinces in Calgary and other provinces, then you have a great chance. Graduate, do a 6 month job, go for a PR. Then provinces support you in a provincial nominee program. That's how it's working.
Right, right. So I think we're getting a lot of questions on whatever you've told. Let's just try out some questions from the live.
Mhm.
The recent one is, which universities offers MS in food technology in Canada? I think you can check on Google.
I think uh, I just mentioned here that I talked to the Shweta as well that I came in Canada as an international student. Right now I'm in my work permit. So I haven't seen any more social media content creators who got access of universities admission, right? So I'm trying and I'm willing to help people who want to go for admissions into Canadian universities.
Yeah.
So you guys can follow me on Instagram and text her as well. That if you need any sort of help for universities admission, I'll clear it out here. If you need any sort of help with universities admission and counseling, you guys can DM us for that, and we can like help you with creating an application profile, and then you can search like which universities and programs you can get into Canada.
Yeah.
But I would highly suggest everyone that if you need help in visa filing, you guys can file your visa by yourself as well. If you
Yeah.
want us or if you want anyone else, you can do that by yourself as well for the visa filing. But if you need help with Canadian admission, like in universities admission, postgraduate diploma, masters, I'm blessed to have all universities. Firstly, I got a contract for University Canada West because there are like 100 plus students here in UCW who are from my reference. So what I've seen here, yes, like it's been 2 years, and recently, like like a student from Pakistan got visa in 5 days. I helped him in visa filing and documentations and everything. Then there is another student who got visa in 10 days. Then there is a family who got admission in PhD in UBC, University of British Columbia. So I was suggesting them just apply a loan and stuff like that. He was from an HVAC background, engineering HVAC background. I convinced them like apply a loan, don't apply with like family, like it might refuse your visa application. And he applied. He said that I don't have any family here. I can't leave my wife and my 2 kids here, and I want them all to travel with me. Uh, and he applied and he got visa in 10 days and he was not replying to me. And I was thought I texted him update, any update on visa. He did not reply. After 3 days, 4 days, I texted or called him like, may I call on weekend? He said yes, call. I called and he said I got my visa. I was like, a person does not reply because he's like over angry or anxious, right? I don't want to like talk to you because the visa did not got accepted. And he said, I would when I'm free on weekend, I'm gonna give you a good news and we can talk in detail. So I was like, okay. He also got visa in 10 days. So it's that student visa stream is highly recommended. The acceptance ratios are high. If you are first of all, if you're planning for Canada, if you have an express entry profile, like if Canada knows that you want to immigrate to Canada, then you can't apply for a study visa.
Yeah, true. That means you're
That's the
telling the
point.
person, it's like you're telling the auditor that I have done a mistake.
Yes.
So,
And then if you already are willing that my file is in pool for an express entry immigration, Canadian immigration, and you're filing for a student visa, though you can say in your cover letter or next statement of purpose that I'm a genuine student, it's not a restriction, it's not a no from a Canadian immigration point of view, but
we
I
are kind
would
of
I would say
communicating our intent, no, that we want to
yes,
stay there. So, of
yes.
course, our student visa would be highly probably rejected.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah. So I think we are getting a lot of questions now that can we get a
Mhm.
job in Canada after doing UG, Masters and ACCA from India? So all things from India, can we get a job in Canada? I think she's talking about work visa.
No, if he's talking about UG, I think it's undergraduate diploma.
No, she's saying after doing UG, Masters and ACCA from India. So she wants a
Okay.
job directly in Canada.
I think that's quite difficult. To be honest, okay, when what I've done is when I was doing a research for my job and everything, I interviewed everywhere. I got interviewed in Big Four accounting firms, KPMG, PwC, not PwC, KPMG, EY, Deloitte. I got interviews from all three. Then I got interviews at Grant Thornton. I got interviewed at BDO where I'm working. Like there are different firms as well. There are different mining companies as well. But what I've seen here is whenever you are giving them an interview, when you end up giving good answers to the questions and they are like happy with you, the quick question coming up is what is your status in Canada? And when you say that no, I'm in India and Pakistan, straight away your application is got rejected. First of all, when you're putting up an information, they usually see that it's from India or Pakistan or Middle East or anywhere. They might not give you an interview call. First of all, point is that you can't directly apply for Canada, right? That's the first point. Then if they also ask you, do you need a sponsorship as well? So the people who are thinking about that LMIA
Yeah.
stuff, that the thing that is going on social media, visit visa to work permit, that is really not easy point. I'm stating that because people usually watch those videos because the content creator for those visit visa to work permit are more as compared to local educational graduates, right? So people who are coming on studies are a genuine students who are going for a PR, but coming on visit visa to work permit, the reality behind that is that you are getting an LMIA. LMIA is actually a work permit
Yeah.
document, and that work permit document cost you around 30,000, 40,000 Canadian dollars. A person from Middle East came here in Canada, and I was in contact with him, and he told me that I'm getting a project management job here in Canada. He was from Saudi, and he got a work permit for 80,000 Canadian dollars. In half of that, you can study, right?
Yeah.
Like in 40,000 or like 30,000 Canadian dollars, even you can go for a diploma, right? For example, if that got rejected, you can go for that option if you have that much of money. I don't think, like, considering the exchange rate and everything, 60, 65 in India, I don't think so. It's like recommended that you buy an LMIA. LMIA is buying it. Firstly, you buy a work permit. That is a closed work permit. You can't do any job other than that employer. You have to be, they don't
Yeah.
pay you. You're not actually working for 1 year. It's not transparent. The third thing is you need to find another job on cash because you can't work anyway, and the cash rate is around $10. And again, if I'm saying cash, that this means I'm talking about illegal,
Yeah.
because in here in India, Pakistan, we can hide taxes, right? But not here in Canada. You can't hide taxes. You have to pay employee taxes, and based on your employee taxes, you get those benefits as well. So when you're talking about those visa to work permit, LMIE stuff, please don't get into that. First point is that.
I mean, there are many frauds also. Here in Punjab, we listen to this that they will take money, provide you with a job, and tell you that we get you work permit, and then that's just a
I'll
fraud.
just mention what you see from the other side is different. When we are not moving, when we are planning moving abroad, right? We only see that we are moving abroad.
Yeah.
Those other conditions we don't see. Those monies we have saved, or we are like putting out everything out there for coming to Canada. But think also about when you're coming to Canada, what are you gonna do?
Like we
Like,
have to
what's your
think like
goal is?
broadly and not just thinking about that I want to immigrate in any case. We have to spend a life after immigration also.
Yes.
So we need to save and think realistically.
Yes, it's not just only about landing in Canada.
Yeah.
Then when you land in Canada, oh my God, you get a heartbreak that there are more Desi peoples out there in comparison to foreigners, right? So you need to think that there is a competition. There is everything. You need to really work hard to get into that zone of living a like 1% quality life. I just like recently saw that $80,000 Canadian dollars is a person who, if a person is earning before is 30, 80,000 Canadian dollars is in 1% of Canadian population. So if you want to get into that 1%, 80,000 Canadian dollars per annum salary, you really need to work hard for that. And there are so many social media content creators. When I was searching for Canada, I used to watch Parul, I used to watch Priyanshu. I still in contact with him. I really follow Indian YouTubers, and the reason behind that, the people who came here for study, the Gur Sahib is there. So people who are there on study, they guide you genuinely. Like if you can see Parul, he's in Canada from 8 years, right? He got to a home, he got to a good car, but like why we are not seeing that 8 years of struggle behind him? Why we don't see Priyanshu's 5 years of struggle? I'm just saying this to mention because people are more familiar with those social media content creators, because you usually see them on a regular basis when you're immigrating to Canada, right? Akshay is there,
Yeah.
everyone is there, but they all struggled throughout. We had to travel in bus, and if, for example, we have to cook ourselves and everything. It's better to immigrate to Canada than to immigrate within India. That's also a point, because I've seen more people are immigrating to like different part of cities in India. Like people are going from Punjab to Mumbai and Delhi and everything. So I would say it's better to immigrate, because I got one person in a SkyTrain station. He was a Punjabi. He told me that I was getting the same cost in Mumbai or a Delhi than coming to Canada. So I thought, yeah, Canada hi chalte hain. Everyone is going to Canada. I also get to Canada.
Yeah. Right. So that's very true. And okay, one question is coming repetitively, that is ACC accepted in British Columbia? No, they don't even consider that you have ACCA or not. They will just take your BCom. It is not even examined. They don't know anything about ACCA. It's a certification, it's not a degree.
Right.
And for that, even if you get your VES evaluation done, you can put that evaluation while visa filing, not while getting the offer letter from the
Mhm.
university, right?
Mhm.
Okay, I hope that doubt is clarified. Okay, another thing, even my doubt is there. So if we have to do from ACCA to CPA Canada,
I
I
was
heard that
expecting
this
this question.
is yeah, you were waiting for this question.
Yes. Yeah, you can go ahead. Complete your question first.
Yes, ACCA to CPA Canada, that's what we will immigrate for. Exactly, right? We don't want to work on just the basis of a diploma. If we are having a
Mhm.
professional qualification back in India and we can get
Mhm.
jobs here, so we
Mhm.
don't want a postgraduate diploma life in Canada, right? We
Mhm.
need a professional
Mhm.
life. So, what do you think? Is it beneficial CPA Canada? What is the process, cost, and jobs after that?
CPA Canada is highly recommended if you're from an accounting background. First of all, what I've seen here, actually, I delayed my CPA Canada for 1 year, and what I've seen here is that you don't need to delay your CPA Canada. I'll come from the start, from the scratch. When you're starting your accounting journey, in ACCA, we usually do international financial reporting standards. But in North America, we have US GAAP, right? Generally accepted accounting principles, US GAAP, right? And the other thing is that they have their own reporting standards as well, ASPE, ASNPOs for different industries. Okay? Then, if you are saying about that, if you just do undergraduate diploma or a postgraduate diploma, or you only have an ACCA and you don't have any CPA, when you're applying for an accounting role, when you're applying for a finance role, and even you're applying for a role with like simple bookkeeping and everything, they ask you for a CPA. Either you're doing CPA, either you're doing anything, so they ask you for that. So, from if you're talking about the perspective, either you're an ACCA member, ACCA membership is recognizable by CPA Canada, but they had an agreement before that is not in existence right now.
Yeah.
So the only option we have, if you have done your studies in Canada, or if you're an ACCA, both perspective, try to go for a province website, go to CPA Canada or go to CPA BC, CPA Ontario, go onto their website and search for transcript assessment. That costs you around $150. Go for that website and upload your credentials. And based on that, they would give you a reply that if you register for CPA Canada or any provinces, you gonna apply to this level. Like for example, you have to start from scratch, like the preparatory courses, or you have done like you got exemptions till prep modules or stuff like that, or you directly get into the CFA exam. So this is how it works. So you need to ensure that you apply for a CPA transcript assessment based on your last
Right.
credentials. So on your last credentials, you can put ACC as well. You can put like diploma transcript of courses as well. I can put my MBA courses as well. So that is highly recommended after you complete your studies in Canada. Or for example, you're immigrating directly and you don't have a CPA Canada and you're an ACC member. Make sure that you're an ACC member. And then you can apply for a CPA transcript assessment. And based on that, you would come to know that, okay, how many papers or how many modules I need to give. And then you can move forward from there.
Right. So basically, it's better to do it post your studies
Yes.
unless you are a ACCA member. And usually,
Yes.
that I've heard is that they place you on the second level if you're an ACCA member.
Yes.
And yeah, so you're doing CFA, right? I follow you on that. So
I've done my
you,
CFA level one.
uh,
So after that, I just stopped. It's quite expensive.
okay. So why did you opt for CFA instead of CPA?
Actually, I was targeting a role of financial analyst. To be honest, I did not have any plan for accounting side or audit side. I thought it's like getting an experience in investment banking. When you're in investment banking, you see a lot of people doing CFAs out there.
Yeah.
So these people are usually CFAs, right? So when I got into investment banking, I thought like let's give it a try for CFA. Then I gave my CFA and stuff like that. And then the reason behind like not pursuing CFA was that when you are into CFA, that it's CFA level one is pretty easier, but CFA level two and three are not. So I thought like, why to waste so much money? I'm doing AC, like you are doing AC certification. I was doing ACC at that time as well. So ACC is a certificate, CFA is a certificate. That's why I offer an OBU degree as well. Because when you are immigrating and when you are applying outside, or when you are applying for employers here in Canada or like North America or even in Europe side, the problem is that they don't recognize certificates. They recognized
Yeah.
degree or even a diploma over certificate, like any certificate qualification, like ACC is a certificate qualification. Even they don't recognize chartered accountancy.
Yeah.
That's the reason. That's a problem we have.
Yeah. So it's better that just go with the trend, just a degree works, than why to get into so many certificates when you already have one.
But I would again say like it's better to have a good qualification. But again, degree is must. world needs degree.
Yeah, right. Okay, one more question we are getting is 4 years bachelor's.
Mhm.
So everyone has in India, I don't know about Pakistan, I think you guys have 2 years of bachelor's.
No, we have 4 year bachelor's. It's 4 years now.
It's 4 years now. Right now, we also have 4 years, but the ones who've already qualified, they have 3 years of BCom.
Mhm.
So, how they can immigrate?
I think many universities here in Canada they accept 2 years of 3 years of bachelor's, and I was helping out one student for his admissions last night, and I just saw that they accept 3 years of bachelor's. There's not
Yeah.
an issue.
They actually accept. I have applied to UBC, so I can answer it. Like you can go to the section of admission requirements.
Hmm.
Based upon the country, they have actually given you that if you are from this university, now that university is having some kind of ranking, like it is ranked A plus
Hmm.
plus. If you talk about Delhi University, it's a ranked A plus.
Hmm.
So if you have done your 3 years bachelor's from such universities, then they accept it.
Hmm.
Otherwise they won't. So it's very specific to university. So UCW accepts 3 years bachelor's, UBC also accepts 3 years bachelor's, provided it is from A plus university, which is ranked A.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so now we can just ask the audience to ask doubts to the expert. सर ACCA के बाद डायरेक्ट जॉब मिल जाती है आउट कंट्री में?
No, again, I repeat, direct job is different. You can't get directly job. Yes, you can get job in Middle East. And one point is that many people who are like from an accountancy background, they are doing jobs in Middle East. You can directly get jobs in Middle East, but not here in like Europe or North America. You need a permit for that, like a work permit, or if you say like yes, if I'm like I have 3 years of experience, or I'm a manager or a partner or stuff like that, and I want to apply directly. Still, you are a partner, you can't apply directly for Canada.
And for Middle East, I've already made a video on my YouTube channel with one of my friends who've immigrated to UAE based on from ACCA background. So you can watch that out. He can help you with
Mhm.
references as well. Okay. Can we apply for transcripts after completing ACCA from India and immigrating to Canada?
CPA has changed their policy that if you want to do CPA Canada, you need to be here in Canada. So if you are applying for a CPA transcript assessment, you need to be here in Canada.
Right.
You can't apply from like abroad. Like for ACCA, you can do it from anywhere. It's a UK qualification, but you can like since it's global, you can apply, right? Even for CFA and like for everything. But for CPA Canada, they want you here in Canada.
Right. Okay. Masters done in India and ACC affiliate plus 3 years of experience can go into Canada. And if I do CPA Canada, is it worth doing with India? You can't do CPA Canada in India. You have to be there.
Yes.
Manav, you have to be there. So, of course, you'll have to immigrate. Either you immigrate on the express entry or you
Mhm.
immigrate on the basis of study visa. We recommend study visa sometimes because express entry is less likely. And yeah, I think that's what you wanted to say as well.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, Vancouver is better or Winnipeg for PR, and we can apply for MBA in Winnipeg with OBU.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I just lost that comment.
It's saying Vancouver is better or Winnipeg for PR, and we can apply for MBA in Winnipeg with OBU.
With OBU degree, if you're meeting the eligibility criteria of the university, you can apply for that. And I think Winnipeg is a good province. Like I applied for Winnipeg in 2016, but I did not get a visa, and I was like happy for that. Ultimately, when I landed in Canada, the winters in Winnipeg are like in 10 months there is snow. So if you want to enjoy your life for just only for 2 months in Canada, then you can go for a Winnipeg. But I would suggest Vancouver is like it's a different vibe. Vancouver is Vancouver. I usually used to watch videos of 30 minutes, people walking in downtown Vancouver street. When you come here, obviously you say, oh, okay, I have come here. Like I used to watch the YouTube videos. They have a lot of videos on downtown Vancouver. You can watch that as well. But Winnipeg again, it's really really cold. You like it's really cold. You can't your hands your legs just get muscled up like you can't even move them. There are like more chances of you getting like sick as well, and everything like that is associated. And in that, whether how you can do a part-time job or even how you can study, you can't stay at home for the whole day, right? You need to travel to the university, right? You need to travel to your jobs and everything. So Winnipeg or provinces, if you have a person knows, everyone knows who have a good profile, who have a lease profile, who have an intermediate profile, everyone knows their status, right? Even you and me also knows like what we are, right? So I would suggest you highly that target, search for provinces, see what your weakness is and then decide. For example, if your weakness is financial situation, then you need to survive in Winnipeg. You can go for Winnipeg because it's cheap, right?
Yeah.
And if you think that I can't survive in winter, then target Vancouver. But if for Vancouver, you need to have a good funds to show up for university's expense and everything. And if you think that okay, I'm looking for an average, then you can target Ontario as well. You can target Calgary as well. People are like moving to Calgary as well. You can target that province as well. But again, Vancouver life, Ontario life, Calgary life, even if you move out of this area, I'm in Delta area that's close to Surrey, right? If I move here to Richmond, for example, in next area, the vibe, the people living out there, their way of talking is different. So it's really important that wherever you are moving, you have a bit of an idea or a knowledge about that, or your friends are living there or anything. And even you, there are so many international students, people from like back home. You can find your own people, right?
Right. Okay, so the next question is that we can get part-time jobs as ACC affiliates while doing our masters or diplomas.
I would say it depends on you. I have seen people who are doing part-time jobs in Canada based on their ACCAs. So are they working as accounting technician or a bookkeeper or a junior accountant? So yes,
Right.
they can do.
I have some friends there. They are like ACCA members with 2 years of experience in E&Y, and then they've got good part-time jobs
Mhm.
there. Like recently, this thing happened, no? That the people who went
Full
from a
time.
certain date, yeah, they're doing full-time. Yeah.
Yes, and I
So
think many students enjoy that.
yeah, so she's doing from UBC DAP only, and she's having a full-time job. So it's possible, and that's just on the basis of ACCA.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so they do value, the employers do somehow value ACCA, and she also told me the exactly same thing as you were telling, that they value IFRS.
Yes, exactly. I told you like they have their international financial reporting standards, but obviously they rely more on US GAAP and yes, US GAAP, but they do value IFRS.
Hmm. Okay, is it possible to apply for the big four firms in Canada like Deloitte, E&Y after completion of ACC, or need to start over again from scratch?
No, you can apply directly. I got interviews as well in Big Four. They never ask me what your background is. They know about ACCA. The Canadian employers, even coming out of this Big Four, employers here in Canada know about ACCA.
Right. If someone is pursuing ACCA, then are BCom results significant for getting a job in any MNC?
No, it does not matter. If let's again, I repeat, your education in Canada supersedes over those qualifications you have done back home. So that becomes a supporting documentation, and your latest qualification becomes a supersede, right? So when you are giving an interview and everything, you need to ensure that you mention more about your recent qualification in Canada rather than talking about previous qualifications. Just either come from the back that I have done this and this, and then coming to main program, or go from this to back. But do remember that uh, employers know more about Canadian institutes and education or a degree and diploma programs rather than for your back homes, right? They are not from like India or Pakistan. They are from Canada or they are from US, right? So make sure tell them what they know.
Yeah,
If you tell them what they don't know, you might end up that they don't have an idea.
right. How to get admission in Canada without bachelor's only on the basis of ACCA? I don't think that's possible.
That's possible only in UCW. If you don't have a bachelor's degree and you have an ACCA membership or ACCA affiliate status, even you can apply for UCW MBA. That's it. Only one option.
For bachelor's in UC.
No,
Oh, wow.
no. There are many people who are without any undergrad degree.
Wow. So that's the only one option left for you. That is UC.
Yes, that's only one option.
Yeah. Okay, CA करूँ या ACCA, which is best from Pakistan?
I would personally recommend ACC is much better. I don't know, but it's people's preference, and like the people who are elder, I'll say like that go for CA, chartered accountancy, CA, chartered CA. There is like a huge demand for this word CA,
Hmm.
but they don't know अगर दो word आगे और लगा दो तो वो भी that also does matter. So people are like CA कर लो, but they don't know if you are fade or if you are like halfway between, because I get a lot of people, hell lot of people coming that now we are stuck in CA. Now what's next? Their age is gone, their time is gone, they don't have a degree, they can't immigrate to anywhere. Job market is obviously tough everywhere right now. So, like particularly in Pakistan and India, the considering the amount of population and everything, the growth of the businesses, the industries, job market is difficult. You need to start really from scratch from a low amount of salary. So I would strongly recommend you if you want to immigrate anywhere, if you have a plan that I want to immigrate, go for an ACCA rather than CA. And if you think that you are cheetah, like you're tiger man, you just go for like CA. If you think you're gonna ace that, uh, go for CA.
Okay. So is PG diploma from public institution or masters from UCW, since UCW is a private? Basically UBC versus UCW.
No, there is no comparison. UCW is a private universities. Like for example, let's suppose if I would
UBC is
say
private.
yes, UCW is a private, UBC is a public.
UBC is a public. Yeah.
Yes. So let's suppose I keep myself 2020. I'm applying for Canada and I have these two options, UBC and UCW. If I got admission in UBC in a postgraduate diploma, I would pick that over UCW private. UCW is actually for people who want to immigrate to Canada. They don't care about any degree or these institutions, right? But you only have this option, and that's the point. That's my point. I'll be really clear because I'm a graduate. I know about it. So if you would say what is the reputation of UBC, there is no comparison. UBC is the oldest institute in Canada. It's like there are two top universities in Canada that is worldly recognizable. Even UK professors know about it. Even UK professors come here for research and everything. That is University of Toronto and University of British Columbia. And there is another big university I'm really fond of. I would have got admission there, University of Waterloo. So these are like big
Even if you
games.
have this in your CV, that's what I've heard from the alumni, because I was applying to UBC. That even if you have UBC in your CV, it kind of helps you to get jobs. You get calls from the employers,
Yes.
which might not be the case in other universities, because of course it's not just about the degree; it's about the reputation of the
Every
university as well.
every employer wants an employee who can create profits from them or who can reduce costs for them. So if a person who is coming from a good university, they know that he has a potential or she has a potential, she got into that university, she completed that program, and then now she's applying for jobs. So it means that the candidate is reaching their level of getting that employment call, right? Or interview call. So again, yes, there is no comparison of UBC and UCW. UCW is a private institute, but again, if you would say, does this really matter? Either you are a UBC graduate or UCW graduate. I have seen UBC graduates being unemployed for 1 year, and I have seen UCW graduates getting jobs before they graduate. So
That's
it's all
totally
about
up
you
to
again.
you. It's like common to every part of the world that
Yeah.
job is based upon the person and not always
Yes.
about the course or the university, right? So it's just
Yes.
that we blame things that because of this we didn't get a job, but actually
Exactly.
you make yourself worth it or not. So you have to sell your skills. So it's all about your networking, your references, how you get into the jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think UBC is kind of competitive. It took me a while to get into that. Plus, they are very particular about the transcripts. Like I was
Mhm.
applying to UCW also, they accept the PDF also. Like you can, when you bring in, when you land in Canada, you can bring in the actual transcripts and submit. Whereas
Mhm.
UBC is like we want it from Delhi University. It should be, in the envelope, even the degree. Like if someone is watching and he's from Delhi or she's from Delhi University, you can contact me. I can tell you, like, if you
Mhm.
want to get your degree in advance, how it works, if you've just recently qualified. So that's also a very huge problem with Canadian universities. They want degrees, and we don't get degree here in India like 1 year after
Uh, that,
graduation.
that's the same process back home as well. Yeah, that's the same process. But if you can get a bona fide letter, that can help you in admission as well.
UBC
Canadian,
doesn't accept anything, bona fide letter,
but different universities accept bona fide letter, like more of a private universities. Again, I repeat, public universities are here for research, for institute, for studies. Private universities are here for making money.
True.
Your game, your intention is to get into Canada and
Yeah.
study and then work, right? Similarly, universities also have that motive that if they are existing here, like the private institutes or colleges or universities, they are here to make money. They get 3 times more money in terms of fees as an international candidate rather than local graduates. So if you come here, so don't think that, oh, this reputation is low. If reputation is low, you go for an UBC. Why don't you apply for a UBC admission? You are not getting an admission there. That's why you're applying for a UCW, right? Let's be honest, right? Why you are hiding that?
Of course, I mean, even when I applied for UBC, I was kind of dicey because my BCom was distance, right? So I was
Mm,
like, if I get into this, I'll opt for this option. If I don't, I have UCW, I have other colleges, Douglas is there, right? So I've applied to all the things, and the main motive is to immigrate, right? At the end of the day, we've completed ACCA, we are not going there for
mhm,
higher education. So we don't
mhm.
need PG diploma to be done from Canada. We're going for immigration. So in that
Yes.
case, let's be honest and go for the best option, which is cost friendly and is
Mhm.
fulfilling the objective as well.
Exactly, yes.
So, okay, I think we've taken most of the doubts. We're getting more and more doubts as we go forward. So I think we will end this live session here only. Do you have any closing notes, sir?
Closing note is get ready. You have to cook food. You have to do everything.
Yeah, how's
Yeah.
life there? My mom is very
Life,
scared that you
life,
will have to
life.
do cooking, no maids, nothing.
You have to love everything. You have to love cleaning your own toilet, right? You have to love everything. Like you have to do like from scratch. But what I personally feel is that I personally think everyone should immigrate to anywhere in the world. Like get out of your house. Seriously. If you're a youngster, in your 20s, in even if you have a family, you're married, get out of their home, get out of your comfort zone. Once you get out of your comfort zone, you realize your potential. I really say I regret why I did not came to Canada like previously, why I came just 2 years back. So I lost I would say, right, I'm turning 27 this October. So I really think that's really time to think about just immigrate anywhere. Firstly, try for countries where you can get a passport. It's really important to have your first 30 years of vision. For example, if I turn my age 30, what goals you have, what visions you have, right? It's really important. So I would strongly suggest everyone target a passport or target any country where you can live a good standard of living, right? And again, I repeat, I come to my point again. Get out of your comfort zone. When you are at your home, when you are, I don't know, but in Desi families, or I would say in like people in India and Pakistan, a yogurt have to be bring by a youngest son in the home, right? You need to go for a yogurt. You need to go for a milk. You spend your life in that way, and you don't realize your potential. Your time is much more important than that. So that can be ordered online by the parents, right? Or that can be ordered online by the elders living in the home. So I would strongly suggest target by the age of 30. If you are watching in your 30s, even if you're above 30, target a passport of a first nation, like first nation or developed nation, I would say. And then target countries. I would suggest everyone should have the target. I think I saw many comments there. Like what's the like the demand for ACCA in US? US is a big market. If you have plan of getting a Canadian passport and then move to US, go for it. And if you have a plan of you have a Europe passport and immigrate to like a big country, many people don't know about Luxembourg in Europe. It's a really small country, Luxembourg, but it's a huge potential. Many of the richest people in the world living in Luxembourg. So like even and when you're saying about the Middle East, you need to live in Dubai. So like I'm saying, get into the top country where you can find top people. and then from there you had a mindset to growth. So again, I repeat, get out of your comfort zone. Like, you have to do your cooking here, you have to do your cleaning here, you have to bring your groceries. I used to walk 10 to 15 minutes to going to Walmart and then carry that milk, that cold milk bottle, and then I had to travel. And then I was in ice, I was in like snow as well. I'm walking in snow. My water bottle, well, like my milk bottle is already cold. So that struggle realizes that yes, I'm doing on my basis, I'm doing alone. That gives you goosebumps that you are earning part time by yourself. You're giving your own rent, and then you're bringing your own grocery, and then you learn how to manage money. You learn how to target career. You learn everything.
Yeah.
So I would say get out of your comfort zone. Immigrate anywhere. Immigrate, like if you're living in your village, immigrate to city. If you're living in your city, immigrate to another country. Just immigrate. And there is like being a Muslim, there is one thing that we usually listen to this point that it's better to immigrate than to stay wherever you are. And when you immigrate, you have more chances of making money than people who are living out there. So this is a call there that if you move out, you have a chance of making more money because you see that place from the perspective how you can make that money.
Yeah.
If you are living wherever you are since your childhood, you don't know that options or you won't work on those options. So it's better to immigrate.
Exactly. So basically, you value that. Done so many sacrifices to be there. The people who are
Exactly.
already there are not going to take that much advantage of the resources
They
as
won't
well.
that they won't take that risk. They won't go deep down. For example, if you're an ACCA, you will think thrice before making a mob or a clean in the warehouse. I did that. I packed my warehouse clothes. If I thought, yeah, I'm an ACCA and I won't do that, like, how you gonna pay your well, you won't be asking your money from your parents, right? What's the exchange rate? It's really tough to ask them, give me my money for a rent or give me my money for the grocery bills. That you have to do on your own. And to be honest, I've seen Indian students, particularly Punjabi girls, they work really hard. To be honest, and I would say one more thing. What I've seen here is that Indian students are more hard worker than Pakistani students. To be honest, that's what I have seen. Oh yeah, I'll be clear. Like I'll be clear. What's a good side? It's a good side, right? So I have seen because Indian students know their exchange rate. Even Pakistani students know their exchange rate. But again, coming to a point, I have seen, and obviously the numbers of the Indian students are more than compared to Pakistan. There is no comparison of these countries, to be honest. But from the perspective of an immigration and point of view, I would say Indian students usually work harder
Yeah.
in compared to Pakistani students. And even that's my point of view. But maybe someone can agree, someone not. But what I've seen that is from whenever I was working in a warehouse, I was the only Pakistani student out of all the Indian.
Hmm.
Where I was working in my job, all Indians, one Pakistani. So the reason is that even in professional jobs, even in low wage, minimum wage labor jobs, I've seen people working everywhere. So you need to create that mindset. You have to work in a warehouse. You have to work in a big company. It's a journey from a warehouse to a big company for everyone. Yes.
Yeah, so people are very happy that you're talking good about Punjabis and Indians. So, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those
And
girls, I see them around waiting on the bus stops.
yep. So I think from my end, I would just say what as a student who wanted to immigrate to UBC or is planning to immigrate, I'll keep you updated with my journey as well. But I feel more than getting an offer letter, what matters is getting a visa. Like offer letter, at the end of the day, you would get from one university or the other. It's all about visa. So if specifically I would like to address the people who have distance education, School of Open Learning, SOL, IGNU, whatever university, Kerala's university, which is giving you distance education. If you have such BCom, such bachelors, guys, you need to have a solid reason why did you go for a distance education. And if you can justify that what were you doing in that period. For example, if you're doing ACCA during that period, let's suppose you completed your ACCA by the second year of your college, what were you doing in that third year? So you have to basically tell everything about your gaps, about the qualifications. work experience is needed specifically for distance education. Okay, so that's the best way you can justify that distance learning, because I was doing work, I was having business, I was doing this studies. So you have to clarify it, right? So it is possible. Many people out there are like, if you have distance education, you won't be able to get visa. Like, I visited so many consultancy businesses here. I don't know if you know about IDP and uh, such institutes here in India. So they, you enter the institute and you'll ask them that, okay, I have a distance education. First of all, they don't know about ACCA. That's the biggest disadvantage. People don't know much about ACCA here in India. Okay, so they would first of all doubt what is this ACCA. Secondly, you tell them you have distance education, then they will say, okay, from the face of it, you can't go to Canada, you can't immigrate because you have distance education. Now they are not getting into the actual perspective. As a student, I did my own research. Okay, I was on the verge of applying the visa on myself, because all the consultants out there, they just brainwash me that you can't immigrate. You won't get an acceptance of visa because you have SOL degree. I said, UBC, man, UBC accepted me on the basis of that distance degree. And why won't the visa officer accept if I give the reason? I mean, the reason I give distance education is because I qualified ACC in my first year itself, when I was 18. And after that, I am working as a teacher. I'm a tutor. I've worked in my own practice firm for UK SME clients. So, bro, I have all the details to be provided. Why can't I immigrate? What's the issue with that? So,
Actually, they're not recognizing the person actually.
yeah, so they don't actually know the things. First of all, they call ACC as ACCA. So it's a big issue here that they don't know about your qualification. So don't be disheartened if someone has told you this thing that you can't immigrate because of this reasons. You're in the same boat as I am. So you can contact me and Shaji sir as well. He's been a great help to me also when I was planning I texted him 2-3 times that this is possible, and then he replied very kindly. So I think there are many people who are genuinely out there and helping the people, the students, and for us ACCA community guys, we are very rare. I mean, we are rarely found in the world. So
Yeah, that's right. But they are in high demand if you just merge it with another qualification. Like if you're done your ACCA, get a master's degree, then making that, I personally believe it's not. Even I'm in contact with the president of North American, ACCA North American president. So I'll touch base with him as well. If you guys can follow me on Instagram, I'll take him live as well, and we can even get you in and we can discuss like ACC India, ACC Pakistan, and he's in
I
US.
am in for it.
He
I want to do this.
so like he has done his ACCA. He was from Middle East actually, right? So he has done his ACCA. He was in Canada. He worked there for almost 10 years in audit firms. He's a partner in oh no, sorry, he's a senior manager in USA. So he holds a Canadian passport. Now he's in US. So if you guys have a question that we can go to US, yes, Canadian passport, US. He's a big guy. He's my mentor. He's on LinkedIn as well. Sarmad Ali Khan. He's a president of US. Oh, sorry, ACC North American body.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh.
So
So
yes, ACCA
have
do exist in
scope
North America.
we do have scope in US as well.
Yes, exactly. They do recognize, and yes, they do recognize, and they do like weigh your qualification, right?
Right. So I think that was super helpful for all the people out here. Guys, I hope this was a helpful live session, and thanks for being patiently here. And thank you, Shaji, for
Thank
joining me live.
you
And
so much again, Tashwada.
yeah,
Thank you so much
thanks as well.
for
And
taking me live,
yeah, and please,
for
guys, if you have
texting me even.
any questions, you can text me regarding Canada, or you can text Shaji. You have his Instagram handle now.
Mhm. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a nice day
Okay,
ahead.
take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.